Hey everybody, my name is Molly, and yeah, I do look like this right now, and I did go to school like this. This is the face of a teacher who is tired, who is 7 days away from the end of school year, and who went through a day of state testing. But that's not what this video is about. This video is kind of a interesting, different video. This video is for all of those teachers who are not super organized, who struggle a lot, and who just want to see another teacher struggle, because I'm going to go through I want to like show you but not expose where I live. Why am I using that hand? I want to show you my plans, or the plans for the plans from this school year. So I have taught, this is my second year teaching, and this year I'm teaching third grade reading and social studies. And I was thrown into the world of balanced literacy this year, full force, and it was great and wonderful, but you can tell through this like explanation of what we're gonna do here that it definitely took me a while to get my groove and understand how I was gonna incorporate balanced literacy and make it work for my kids. So this was inspired by Megan from Too Cool for Middle School, where she goes through her entire years of lesson plans. However, I would love to do that, but this is a hot mess, and this is not like nice and neat like Megan's, and there's a lot of scratching things out, and this is just like my initial plans before I make my lesson plans, because I really just go more off my lesson plans than I did this. This was like the initial brainstorming process, but I still wanted to show it because I feel like it's beneficial to see that it takes a while for new teachers to sometimes get into the routine of things, and also just to reflect of how much we've done in 1 year. It's kind of crazy. And so if that sounds interesting to you, if you care at all, then you can stick around, and if not, I will see you later. Okay, I really had to think about the best way to film this, and it's probably just me holding my camera because I don't have a tripod. So this is the first month of August. Honestly, I don't even remember when we started school. According to this, the second, which I don't think so. I think this was just a space I used to plan, because I know we did not start on the second. I don't know why it's over here. But like I said, I incorporated balanced literacy this year, and that was new to me. And another thing that you should know is we do not have a curriculum, and so fun. And we also don't have a scope and sequence per se. We just kind of have units of when they say teacher standards, but they don't really, do it for us. And so I was thrown into a new grade level with balanced literacy. And so this first month was just me trying to figure out how to manage all my resources, all those wonderful things. So August is a hot mess, as you can see. I was trying to figure out what my centers were going to look like, how I was going to introduce a story throughout the week, and what we were going to do with that. So I was introducing vocabulary on Mondays, and then the story, and then I was doing a mini lesson, then one station spelling, and let me tell you, whoops, that stopped happening real quick. Like, that went out the window very early on, because that is just so much to do in one day. Yeah, it did not happen. So you'll see that goes away. And then my plan was initially to do like shared read, lesson, 2 stations, and then the test, and then writing, and then a writing assessment or writing activity on Fridays. You'll see that doesn't happen. So September starts to get a little bit more organized, in a way, I guess, not really. That's just me planning. But again, I'm going into a story. I'm using these really old Journeys books to take stories from, and they're long, and they don't really go with balanced literacy. And on top of that, I'm trying to teach a mini lesson after that. So again, you'll see that stops pretty quickly. This week was fun. I bought something off TPT to do a what was it called? Folk Tales and Fables activity. And so I taught theme with that, and then we did 2 stations. And honestly, the thing that I bought was really advanced for the kids. I would definitely not use it again next year. I should probably note that if I do teach 3rd grade. Let's see. We did Destiny's Gift, which is another story from the Journeys books. and we were talking about character traits. Now, when I first taught character traits, I did a very bad job of teaching character traits. And so going back and reviewing it for the STAR, I realized I did not teach that story very well. So there were mini lessons. I also was trying to do like a different mini lesson every single day, which was not practical. So that was September. October, you'll see I didn't really plan out a ton. October was a rough month. I remember this is when I started to really think, dear God, how am I going to get through the school year? Just being honest. Then we started to do dramas. We had a CBA, which is like a benchmark test. Let's see. Don't know. We did escape room for Halloween, which was really fun. I have that on a YouTube video here, if you would like to see it. So that was October, a hot mess, clearly. Really rough month for me. You will be able to tell what months are rough by how sparse they are. See, November, really, really empty. Again, contemplating quitting my job every day. Just being honest, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, and also this is not my lesson plans. This is just like what I would use to plan the week out before I would write my lesson plans. So I would think of ideas like, okay, well, we should probably hit on homographs, dictionary, skills, main idea. This week we did author's purpose. We did cause and effect, which was fun. That was a good week. That was actually a really good week. I have a lot of cool cool Thanksgiving related things for 3rd grade. Then it was Thanksgiving break. Praise Jesus. Okay, let's see. So I did tongue twisters in December, that one day. Then we reviewed certain things. We had another CBA. We did a caribou versus reindeer activity, spelling test. God knows what I did that week. That was a fun day. Performance with our 3rd grade performance. That was fun. So this was the week before Christmas break. We did How Did the Grinch Steal Christmas? I did all these different Christmas centers. That was a lot of fun. And then we had just a Grinch day where we watched The Grinch. That last day of winter break, or before winter break, I should say. January. Oh, January. So this is when I didn't realize this, but I have not I didn't write out what I was going to do, but I started to plan out who I was going to meet with my guided reading groups, because it took me until January to make a schedule, because, first year doing it with balanced literacy, I was trying to implement the things with what worked best for my kids, and so I finally got on a schedule. Yay! Okay, so this was the first week that I introduced Okay, so this was the first week that we started doing passages, getting ready and getting us geared up for that STAR lifestyle that we're going to live, and that we have our reading STAR test tomorrow, had our math one today. And so Monday we didn't have school, but I would read the story, and we would do part of our reading strategy with that. Then we would go into centers. Then we would do the questions for that passage the next day, and then we would do different things. We had a Unit 4 test that day, and we did a little cute craft for main idea on that day. Okay, so the next week the unit we were in was comparing it and contrasting, and like finding, things with different genres. So reading a fiction story, so our unit here was comparing and contrasting fiction and nonfiction stories. So we read a fiction story, we talked about comparing and contrasting, read a nonfiction story, we compared the two. We talked about conclusions, And then we wrote something. I don't even remember what that was. That's a shame. Okay, that first week of February, we did cause and effect, we reviewed poetry. Oh yeah, again, we are comparing and contrasting things from different genres, and I used MLK as our kind of like unit, or our theme for that week. So we read a poem about MLK, we read a fiction story about MLK, we read a nonfiction about MLK, and then we compared the two. So the Path of a Hurricane, I don't really remember what we did with this. We did something, evidently. Still reviewing poetry. Let's see. Okay, this last week we were reviewing genres. We're discussing different things like theme and all that fun stuff. Yay. It was my birthday. We read a Paul Bunyan story. This day was a digital learning day, so we did a digital breakout, which was really cool. This week we took our iStation assessment, which we do every month. I just don't write it down every month. And then we did the story Yonder Mountain. Okay, so we're going back to stories. Sometimes we go back to stories. This was benchmark week, and my drama club that I started, we had our play that day. Spring break, nature's threats. We did context clues. Okay, so here it goes. This is the last week of March is when I started the Test Prep Olympics. So we started hardcore reviewing all our different skills. So by this point, I had taught every TEK that needed to be taught in 3rd grade. So even though it doesn't look like it because, this is sparse. So I reviewed all of context clues this week. This week, I did main idea. So we did a little craft. We did main idea passages. We did an Olympic relay. Then cause and effect. Then author's purpose. Then we had a little digital breakout. There was field day, so we didn't do anything. There was no school there, so we didn't do anything. No school there. We reviewed characters. We had a field trip. We reviewed theme. Again, we played a review game. Then we did summary. We had an independent star practice. We did inferencing. We had, then we had an Olympic review. We did poetry again. Is that right? We did, star practice, independent. We did poetry. Then, this is the last week, okay? Or no, I'm losing my mind. So this was last week. So we started off strong with poetry. And then this day I got strep throat. I was out this day. And then today was this day. So, y'all, we have almost no time left before the end of the year. I know this video is kind of interesting, and it sparse it sometimes because I didn't write every single thing that I'd ever did down. But I just wanted to show you my thoughts and how I start the process of lesson planning, because this is just a start. And clearly, sometimes that was more of a hot mess than others. Again, if you like this video, if you like the style of videos, go ahead and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.